Sup, it's your boy Big Reg, coming to you once again from the shadow of the big house in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Holy smokes, folks. This phrase has been overused in my opinion, but for this instance, it definitely applies. Because at this moment, it's Michigan versus everybody. Holy cow, after a 2-week hiatus, where Michigan was just getting pummeled left and right all over the country. Everybody just hating on Michigan, calling us a bunch of cheaters. The Michigan Wolverines had to block all that out, concentrate, focus on the task at hand, which was beating the Purdue Boilermakers. And boy, oh boy, did they step up to the task, beating the Boilermakers 41-13. So I raise my glass to Coach Jim Harbaugh and Team 144 of the Michigan Wolverines football program. Joining me tonight to recap this victory amidst the scandals, amidst the hating. First, as always, with a different look this week, the one and only producer, Jay Business.
Yo. Everyone asking about my haircut. Let's focus on what the true nature of this podcast is. It's about Michigan. It's about the next game up. Michigan versus everybody.
This guy, your hair is looking a little different. I'm not going to lie. It's not exactly an executive contour, though. I'll tell you that much right now. Next, joining us, this man, holy smokes, he's teetering on the edge, folks. He is teetering on the edge. If we get a little bit too negative, he might fall off the cliff, okay? The one, the only, nameless guest.
You got it, Reg. As I was saying earlier, a good reason why I've decided to even join on at this late hour was I need a little bit of your positivity as we get into game day. Getting a little nervous, but I'll leave it at that for now.
Holy smokes. Then this next guest will not help you in that regard because it's the one, the only, Mr. Squarehead.
Stop. Don't talk to me. Loser, lame, or wannabe. Like, oh, totally. I can't wait to talk everything Michigan, baby. I'm talking about from the cheating scandal to the ineptitude of J.J. McCarthy to just everything Michigan. I can't wait. Let's get this show rolling.
Holy cow. Wow, he's not pulling any punches right from the get-go. The negativity just flowing like a river from his mouth. Well, let me start off with this. Ryan Walters, the head coach at Purdue, started things off this past week by running his mouth. Running his mouth. Holy smokes. He said, you got to call a spade when it comes to advantages and disadvantages. Here's the thing, Ryan Walters. If you're going to say something, say something. You know what I'm saying? What is this beating around the bush? Says, I call a spade a spade. No, you really didn't call a spade a spade. You called it a black symbol amongst four in a deck of cards. Because what he really wanted to say, but he didn't have the guts to say, was, I think Michigan are cheaters. That's what he should have said. That's what he should have said. And if he had said that, you know what? I would have respected him more. But he's beating around the bush. A real man doesn't beat around the bush. He hits the bush. Okay? You don't beat around the bush. If you want to call us cheaters, come on out and call us cheaters. Okay? And say it with your chest next time, Ryan Walters. Talking about call a spade when it comes to advantages and disadvantages. You nerd. Who says talks like that?
Well, the handshake after the game truly proved that he was, one, embarrassed and ashamed, but two, that he's a coward. Couldn't even stand up to Harbaugh and call him that to his face right there in front of national television either.
5 seconds to go. They need to foul.
That's what I'm saying. You know, like producer Jay Bizzle just said, if you're gonna come up with all that smoke, then you know what? When you're face to face with the man, say what you feel. Say what you mean to the man face to face. Instead of just now you see me, now you don't. Slinking off into the evening. Goodness gracious. If you're gonna say something, say it plainly and clearly, and say it to the man's face.
It's like
Come on.
It's one of these handshakes right here where it was just
it wasn't even a handshake. Was there even a handshake?
He's
I
just a.
blinked and I
I
didn't
can't
see
believe
him.
we're wasting so much time on this turd. He's a nothing. He's a nobody. Moving on. Just get out of here, man. You got your butt whooped. Get out. You're
Here's the
nothing. You're
last.
gonna get fired in a few years. Bye.
Here's
Goodbye.
the
You're
last thing I'll
nothing.
say about it, though. Here's the last thing I'll say about it.
Yeesh.
Because he kept saying, listen, it's all about advantages and disadvantages. Call a spade, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Post-game press conference, they asked the Purdue quarterback, forgot the young man's name. What's the young man's name?
Card.
Carson Card, right? Card. I give credit to him. They asked him point blank, hey, was it a big deal that you had to switch up signs and all that kind of stuff before the game? And you know what he said? He goes, no, not really. We do that quite often. He goes, what if you had to do it every game? Like, yeah, no big deal. It happens quite often. So all these people crying about, oh my gosh, it's such a disadvantage. It's such a disadvantage. Oh my gosh, it's advantages and disadvantages. And you gotta call a spade a spade. Well, you know who called a spade a spade? Card. Card did. Card said, listen, it's not that big a deal. It happens quite frequently. That's what he said. Your own quarterback. So next time, before you start moaning, pissing and moaning about stuff, really think about what you're saying. You dumb. Holy smokes. I raise my glass.
Now we're talking.
To Carson Card for being a stand-up dude, unlike Ryan Walters, your head coach. I'm fired up. Holy smokes. I got to bring it down a little bit, Let's talk about the actual game. Holy smokes. Listen, I'm not going to lie to you. When I woke up that morning and I opened up the FanDuel account, check out the link below for a referral bonus. You'll get $75 in sportsbook plus $25 in the casino if you use our link. So go ahead and do that. But when I opened up the FanDuel account, holy smokes, I looked at the odds and it said Samaj Morgan touchdown plus 1,000. And I was like, do these people not know who Samaj Morgan is and all that he's capable of? So I said to the boys right away, yo, we got to put some ducats down on Samaj Morgan scoring a touchdown. And lo and behold, Samaj Morgan delivered for the boys. So I raised my glass to Samaj Morgan, making a big play in a big game. And I know it's going to be the first of many more to come. So I raise my glass to you, Samaj.
And we put down $1.50 each, and we walked out with $9 each or something. Come on, man.
It's not about the amount. Because I've said it before, I'll say it again. We're just playing for fun, baby. We're just playing for fun. We're not trying to make rent. We're just playing for fun, baby. And man, oh man, was it a lot of fun to watch Samaj Morgan score that touchdown for us. I raise my glass once again to Samaj.
He almost had another one, too.
He did. Oh, my goodness gracious. We almost hit the big money. We almost got paid over almost $2,000 if Michigan defense had just come up with that touchdown at the end. Holy smokes. Will Johnson in the first quarter when he got another INT. So I raise my glass to you, Will Johnson, and that Michigan Wolverines defense. Holy smokes, we almost got 2 G's. Off a parlay. We had a 6-leg parlay. Came close, but not quite. But I still raise my glass to you, Will Johnson, for the INT.
Are we going to talk about DJ and his ineptitude and his lack of ability to hit a target without underthrowing, overthrowing, throwing behind? Can't do that against a Purdue defense.
Well, he did, and we crushed them.
Exactly, dude. He can't do that when we're playing Penn State. Even Maryland defense, I think.
Nah, we'll be fine against Maryland. But you're right about Penn State. You are right.
All right, before we jump ahead,
this guy's true colors came out.
And what are those colors? Tell us, because he passed for over 300 yards. Okay,
come on, man. You can't just look at the stats. How many yards he? Look at the throws. Look at the game. Watch the game again. 9 out of 10 throws were off target.
9 out of 10 throws were off target. Is that what you just said? I called a spade a spade. I didn't say spade. I called him out. 9 out of 10 throws are off target. This guy's nuts. 9 out of 10 are off target. Holy smokes, this guy's nuts. Oh gosh.
I mean, he's just exaggerating, but he was off for sure, you know? Call that rust. I'm not concerned about that so much, but the fact that he's been untested and he's going to face a tenacious, ferocious pass rush where there can be true havoc, and we got a leaky line with two weak tackles.
All right,
there's trouble brewing. There's some
Before we
real
jump
trouble
too far
possibly
ahead
brewing.
to the PSU preview, can we
All
just
right.
wrap up with Purdue? Is there anything else
Got you.
people want to talk about Purdue before we
Plenty.
jump? Huh?
What else? Plenty, man. I mean, yes, JJ was off, but you know, we can get back to that. Of course, Square will bring it back. That's fine. But this lack of the rush game, it's been downplayed for weeks. That is for real. This is an issue. We need more than this. And I don't know. I mean, the optimist, the delusional side of us are going to say they're saving stuff. I don't know. I don't think so anymore. They don't got the stuff to play bully ball.
Oof.
I realize that, and I think a lot of people are hung up on that. Namely, Bagman. Bagman just like texts me like during the game. As soon as that offensive line crumbles, Bagman is like immediately texting me, be like, "See, I told you." So to Bagman out there and to all those naysayers who say we can't play bully ball, who cares? We don't need to play bully ball anymore. We don't need to. Last year we needed to. Why? Because JJ was unproven, first-year starter, etc., blah, blah, blah. But now we can literally pass the ball and still win the game. Now, granted, you still want that running game. I realize that.
Yeah.
And yes, I think Nameless is correct. Both of our tackles are not getting like progressively better. There's moments, but obviously even Purdue, even though they're a horrible team, their defense, their D-line and their linebackers are actually legit. Like they can actually get to opposing quarterbacks. And they did. They got to JJ. They sacked him. They pushed him out of the pocket. But then you take a look at what JJ does outside of the pocket, and it's proven. He can do things outside of the pocket, no problem. So what does that come down to then? What do we need that run game for? Yeah, those shorts, third and short, we should be like, I don't know why we're in freaking like shotgun, and then we're asking a running back to get 1 yard in front of a line that's just like crashing down on us. So there's parts of it, I think, that our offensive coordinator, I think Sharon Moore, has proven that he can adapt to, that he can do these different things. We saw some of them. We saw the jet sweep come out now. We saw like even Cornelius Johnson did a run too. So like those are things I think that are going to come out during the Penn State game. Because yeah, they will crash down on us. They'll force us to throw. But guess what? We can still have it happen. Now, to like Squarehead's point, JJ is off the mark. I mean, those throws that he's making are very difficult timing throws. Like, I don't know.
Come on, man.
I haven't seen any college quarterback make those kind of precise throws on time all the time. There's no way. No way.
Gosh. Talk about apologists.
Your expectations of JJ are NFL worthy, okay, whatever it might be, but he still gets the ball there relatively okay. And those guys can catch the ball relatively okay.
Yeah, not 1 out of 10 times okay.
Your statistics.
But I gotta tell you though, I love the performing rushing. You know why? Because we're guaranteed to hit one leg of our parlay every week. The quorum under 80 yards rushing. Love it, baby. Love it.
I raise my glass to finally switching from over on the bets to under on the bets, because that was a key part of hitting two of our parlays. So I raise my glass to that.
Just under 100 yards.
Quick point, as the producer was going on about JJ's scrambling and escapability, which I have enjoyed immensely, but sobering thoughts are filtering in. A bit of Bagman, I confess, is seeping into me, okay? Not as much. I'm never going to dip to the depths of the Bagman, but this was done against vastly inferior competition. And have you not noticed the last couple of weeks, including against Purdue, these hiccups are a little more frequent where Superman JJ thinking he can outrun everything. Twist, spin move, nope, gets tripped up, big lost sack. They're happening a little bit more of late, and you can be or a lot more likely to happen in an away game against the Penn State D-line. So I hope they have humble hearts, that he gets coached up, that they're on guard for that. And, just be ready, because that stuff that works against UNLV and who else do they play? East Carolina? I mean, it's a whole different ball game, folks.
Especially since we won't have their defensive signals.
Oh, wow.
Who cares about that?
It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough without those defensive signs. It's going to be tough. We don't know where they're going to be coming from.
Holy smokes. Let me just say this about the Purdue game. Purdue, the edge rushers, like we were saying before, I forgot who mentioned it, but as bad as Purdue is as a team with a 2-6 record or whatever that they are, their edge rushers are pretty good and they are pretty fast. So it gave us a little bit, in my mind, of a preview of what we're going to see against Penn State. Because Penn State, we all know, has some real speed at the edge rusher position and also at the linebacker position. So I thought, in my mind, it was a preview of what we might see next week. Now, going forward, it's a preview in that game, but also looking back at this previous game. The thing that I still feel good about going into this Penn State game, given the similarities between Penn State and Purdue, is that we still scored 41 points against that Purdue defense. There were some times when it was a little bit confusing for JJ. I think the commentator was saying that, we had a lot of success against them in the first quarter when they were playing man-to-man. We were exploiting that. But then once they switched up to zone, it kind of confused our offense a little bit. But then in the third quarter and fourth quarter, you got to admit, come on, man. Michigan made the counter adjustment to Purdue's adjustment. And from that point forward, we put up 41 points. So I'll raise my glass to that. And while there might be some hiccups along the way, it gives me a good feeling to know that the Michigan Wolverines were able to adjust and overcome.
I'm not swayed. I'm glad to see us.
Wow. You asked me to be optimistic and give you hope, and all of a sudden you take my optimism and my hope,
I'll tell you why.
Crumple it up and you throw it back in my face.
You know what? You need to do better. I need it. I need you to do better for me, because I came on for some therapy. And here's the thing. The reason it doesn't sway me is that those jet sweeps, all that action, we can pound our chest and feel good about the points going on the board for that. You really think Samaj is going to do that against Penn State? Come on, the dream is ending. I dare you to put down another parlay, put it on an anytime touchdown on Samaj this week. I dare you, a double dog dare you. Go for it.
Are you throwing out a gauntlet right now? I will
do it.
Down. How much money you want me to put down? I will put down that bet on a Samaj Morgan anytime touchdown in this upcoming game.
Wait, didn't Nameless opt out of the bet anyway? So he didn't even put the money down onto Samaj?
I double checked with him, and Nameless was like, "Nope, not me."
Samaj is a nice little story. Our championship dreams do not rest upon one Samaj. Okay, Morgan.
Of course not, but it's another piece to the puzzle. Just
Next
like
year,
last
good
week, the
development.
tight ends
Good
getting,
reps.
I think a combined 3 or 4 touchdowns. I can't even remember. National Tight End Day against MSU, the tight ends went crazy. And then we have the consistency of Blake Corum becoming one of the, I think, isn't he all-time leader now or something? I can't remember. Touchdowns by a running back at the University of Michigan, given all the great backs that we've had in the past. Tyrone Wheatley, Tim Biakabatuka, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now we have Roman Wilson, one of the leaders in the nation, touchdowns scored at the wide receiver position. And now we got another weapon in Samaj Moore. So I raise my glass to all the weapons that we have at the skill positions. Because remember, when we were struggling to get over the hump, we always said our skill positions were not that skillful. But now we got a lot of skill at those skill positions, and they are making plays. So I raise my glass to that. Oh, and I almost forgot this past game, Donovan Edwards. I remember one of the texts. I won't say who said it. I won't say who said it. But somebody said, "Why do we always put a bet down for Donovan Edwards to score a touchdown?" And guess what Donovan Edwards did this past game versus Purdue? He got a touchdown that got us the spread. Okay, because if it wasn't for that Donovan Edwards touchdown, we would not have hit the spread at 28.5. So I raised my glass to Donovan Edwards.
He should have had 2 touchdowns.
Well, yeah, he should have. But you know what? I'll take the one. I'll take the one.
Donovan's been a colossal disappointment, I'm sorry to say. I mean, he had one
This is
great
going down the tubes.
catch.
I'm telling you, every optimism rainbow I bring to you, you just squish it in your hands. You squish it in your hands and you throw it right back at me.
This is feeling more and more like fool's gold with everybody like Mike Hart say, we're 6 inches away, 6 inches away, one broken tackle away. I mean, we love our Mike Hart. He's legend. We'll never not love him, but he's not inspiring confidence that Dono is turning the corner and all of a sudden going to spring for 2 long touchdowns like he did in the Buckeye game. I mean, he hasn't shown it. Like that run that Mullings had off to the right side where he got about 10 yards near the beginning of the game. I was thinking, you know what? Good on you. One of the defenders leapt, tried to knock him on a foot. I mean, he just powered right through that. Everybody knows what happens with the Dono. 2 yards and trip and fall. 2 yards, trip and fall. Every single time. He can't keep his balance. He has no body where, like, if he actually knew where he was, all you got to do is just hit that pylon. You had the touchdown right there. Just hit the pylon.
Wow.
He can't even do that.
Wow. You know what? Maybe, you know, he needs a broken hand. You know, it helps him. He needs one. He's got to play one-handed. You know, it helps him balance it a little bit better.
I'll break his hand so that he can get 300 yards again.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's just something's got to happen. Something's got to change. Holy smokes. You guys not believing in the Donovan Edwards, I still believe in you, brother. I think you're doing what you got to get done. You're making the big plays. It might not be in the running game, but in the passing game, you are. You're scoring those touchdowns. So I raise my glass to you, Donovan Edwards.
But I mean, Nameless, come on. If we're looking at I mean, I don't want to speak to the next week, but if you're looking at Michigan offense, yeah, shaky, right? There are moments where they're solid, moments where they're not, but at least they're scoring, right? They're scoring in not just 20s, they're scoring in the 40s. Now, flip that on the defense. What is the defense doing against all these scrub teams? If you told me this defense was letting them score 20, 24 points and we're still winning, yes, I would be concerned. But they're not. They're shutting these teams down. And they're, you know, even towards our second stringers, barely one touchdown that came at the last second that was on there. Our whole team played all 4 quarters. The first string did. I have more confidence that our defense will shut anyone down and that our offense has more than likely a great chance of putting up some numbers. Last year, honestly, not very sure about that offense. I mean, we could run the ball, but outside of that, like, we were always complaining about we can't get the scores, we can't get the touchdowns and stuff like that. And our defense was, again, solid. That was on there, and that led us to where we got to the CFP. We got to that first round game that was on there, and we still had a chance to win that game that was on there. So to me, I'm not feeling nervous going into this next week because I feel like our defense is there. It just keeps getting stronger and stronger. Every time you see this defense play, I feel comfortable. I feel like this team will take it to the next level on defense. Our defense is scoring more touchdowns than some of these other teams that are on here. And you can't tell me that's not worth anything. So to all this nervousness that you're having, trust in the D. You know that Sharon Moore is going to draft up something for Penn State. And it's not going to be all tricks and games and stuff like that. We have a solid wide receiving core. We have a quarterback who can throw the ball, maybe not as accurate as some people would want, but still gets the ball there. In my mind, I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable where we're at.
Producer, I got to give credit where credit is due. That did help.
Can we
no offense to the Big Reg, but the defense, especially against this even more inept PSU offense and Drew Aller, who is at least 1 or 2 years away, at least, okay? And we do have an eraser because they only have one legit receiver. So, you know, you make solid points. No, it's a different story for a different week against multiple threat Buckeyes, but they only got one dude, and former highly sought after recruit Theo Johnson. I'm still a little bit salty not getting him, but you're not that good. I think we can shut you down as well. Yes, you're probably right, but it is a away game, and I just hope that not the havoc that the PSU defense can just ravage is to be respected. Did you see the Buckeye game where they were like neck and neck? And what they do? It was actually a play that wasn't even. They got called back on a penalty, I think.
Yeah,
but they pulled back a touchdown off of that.
it was a pick.
You can't tell me that
yeah.
that kind of stuff doesn't happen to JJ. He threw 2 pick sixes against TCU. It's a different year. He's evolved. Yes, he is better. But we have to avoid the havoc.
And again, I don't want to talk about next week, but we have to anyway.
No, let's talk about next week. I think we have exhausted everything.
It is not a night game. It is not going to be as crazy as people are going to say. It's 12 noon. 12 noon. And JJ's record at 12 noon is much better than him in night games. That's for sure.
Can we also address the elephant in the room is that Harbaugh may not be even coaching that game? Is that a possibility?
Come on.
Come on, man. Is it
Nah.
a possibility? Is it not? Is it not a possibility that he might get suspended and not be able to coach that game?
This is Squarehead listening to all the media pundits about what's going to have happened. Like Stephen A. Smith, that freaking bastard.
Whoa! This is a family show. Holy smokes! Whoa.
There's a bunch of them, man. Throw paid on there. I unsubscribed you, buddy.
I'm not gonna subscribe to ESPN anymore. After fantasy football's done, I'm Xing them out.
Wow.
I'm going to
so no chance. No chance. There's any penalties that coming down this week,
bro. Do you know what the school this is representing? This is Michigan. You think we're gonna fold down like that? Hell no.
Well, if we're up to Ward, we might. But please, Ono and everybody else, save us, please.
Oh no, ain't going down like that.
They'll say, hey, we're gonna suspend Harbaugh, and then he'll say, oh no, you don't. Oh no, you don't.
Shout out to the Wetzel. That was the best.
Once they come out with that shirt, oh no, you don't. I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna buy it and wear it.
We should make that shirt and then sell it. We should go to Underground Printing. Print up about 100 of those and sell it. So if you're looking for the link, look for the link after the PSU game. We'll have those T-shirts available. Toot sweet.
Michigan Wolverines. Everyone go read what's his first name? Dan Wetzel Yahoo article. Best piece laid out so far. Pro Michigan. Go Blue.
It's a travesty that sports media is making a field day out of it. They're getting all these clicks and likes. Name, image, likeness. Michigan should get name, image, likeness from all this generated business.
Listen, it's to be expected. This is a big story. Yada, yada, yada. Listen. We have the largest alumni base in the world. Even if it was negative, as is negative, you're going to get everybody. Michigan haters and Michigan fans. You know what I'm saying? And that's just a lot of eyeballs and a lot of clicks. So, I don't get too worked up about all the different inflammatory articles that are out there, whether it's against us or for us. You know what I mean? I think right now the best thing to do is just, you hate to say it, but you just got to sit and wait. You know what I mean? You got to sit and wait. All the facts are not out there. We don't know what's going to happen. So, you just got to be patient. Got to be patient. Anyway,
what are the keys to the game? What else do you think about the showdown, man? This is the first test. I mean, what else you got?
Honestly, like I said before, I think it comes down to how we handle the pressure from Penn State. Because I forgot who said it before. I think it was producer JB. Our tackles haven't been that great handling speed rush from the edges. And like we said, PSU has a lot of speed off the edges on the defensive line. So I think it's going to come down to how we handle that pressure, whether it's by scheme or protection, keeping the running backs in, yada, 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 whatever. I don't want to get too technical, but I think it's going to come down to how do we handle that pressure? Because if we handle it well, I think we're going to win the game going away.
I think we stop saying we, and I think we just say, how does JJ handle the pressure? I think JJ's decision making to win or lose this game. Gotta be
Okay,
on JJ.
I'll agree with that. I'll agree with that.
I agree with that.
It's JJ. It's all on JJ this game. We agree. We don't have a running game or a smash mouth running game that we've had in the past. JJ can only make 1 out of 10 throws. So if he can make 2 out of 10 throws, 100% improvement, and we'll have a chance.
Wow. All right. Let me ask you this then. If we win by more than 20 points, will you give the credit to JJ? Because you just said it's all on JJ. It's all on JJ. That's what you just said. So if we win by 20 points, will you give JJ the credit?
20 points.
How more than 20 points? That's a lot, dude. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You heard it here, folks. You heard it here. If we win by more than 20 points, Mr. Squarehead will give some credit, finally, to JJ McCarthy.
At least the spread, though. Come on.
Well, the spread I think is only 4.5.
5.5.
Oh, it's up to 5.5 now?
Maybe it's changed, but that's what I saw on initial and
well, I was checking this morning and it was 4.5. We're favored 4.5.
We're favored.
It's already going down.
4.5.
It's already shrinking.
Well, like I said,
buckle your seatbelts. I'm envisioning a whole lot of 3rd and 9s, 3rd and 8s, 3rd and 10s. Rush, wall, long 3rd down conversions. Which much has been made about JJ's supreme success against nobodies, but this is going to be like Manny Diaz, pulling the blitzes and the rush and the everything they got. Beefier run stop. I mean, that's all for real. I mean, Franklin has reason to feel a little bit more confident that this squad is better positioned to stifle the Michigan O. We're gonna have quite a few punts, but I'm just hoping, like producer said, we can hit a few 15 to 25 yard chunkers to Colston. CJ is good for a few drops before he catches a few good ones. It's a little inconsistent. All you need is a few good drives because we're going to keep stifling their offense all day, right? That's the formula.
Nameless, let me give you some stats, some data behind this, okay? Let's compare Michigan versus Indiana University and Penn State versus Indiana University, which was only played about 14 days apart from one another. As a comparison, Penn State beat Indiana University 33-24. 33-24. We beat Indiana 52-7.
I'll bring up one caveat though. Indiana's offensive coordinator got fired the day before or the week of our game. So that's the only caveat I'll put on that.
Not only that, you're bringing back some deja vu headaches of the transitive property discussions we used to have from prior seasons. Okay,
it is a reflection of
not this again.
Still them not being able to do as much as we can in terms of damage. So what if they change the offensive coordinator? So they still scored 24 points on Penn State.
It's the week-to-week matchups.
Not insignificant. That's not.
It's the fact that all the marbles are for this. It's what have the coaches kept in reserve in their back pocket? How are the players and the leaders going to step up? It's like everything, and this is what makes it like a love-hate. Just super exciting, but the churn in the belly, all the old scars. You know which Wolverines you are out there. It's all coming back. Though it wasn't that long ago where our psyche is like just scarred because we're used to these situations, right? We haven't completely killed the beast just being 2-time Big Ten champions. Some of that is still down there. Just ask the bag man. He's nodding his head ferociously right now, guaranteed.
My gosh, you still have so much scar tissue. Holy smokes. Wow. I'll just say this, huh?
A little bit.
A little bit, a lot of bit. What are you talking about? You got scabs all over the place. Holy smokes. I'll just put it this way. The thing that I think is going to be the delineation is exactly what Square had said. The quarterback play. Okay? Because I think we're all agreed that both defenses are very good, right? They might be stronger in one area than the other, one versus the other, blah, blah, blah. But I think we all agree that the defenses for both teams are very, very good. So I think it's going to come down to quarterback play. So at that point, well, I shouldn't say just quarterback play. It's going to come down to quarterback play plus the playmakers on the outside. Whereas the wide receivers, I shouldn't just say outside. The wide receivers, the tight ends, and the running backs. The playmakers. Are the playmakers going to make plays? So when you look at our collection of playmakers, I feel a lot better about what we have versus what Penn State has. Whether it's Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards, whether it's Colston Loveland and A.J. Barner, and whether it's Roman Wilson, Samaj Morgan, and Cornelius Johnson. Okay.
You had me till Samaj. Oh my God.
Holy smokes. Come on, give him a little bit of credit. Come on, Nate. Wow. Anyway, the cherry on top of all that, for me, is the fact that J.J. McCarthy is a much better quarterback than Drew Aller. So given all that, that's why I feel pretty good going into this game versus Penn State. It's going to be our first statement game, and this reminds me a lot. I don't want to bring, maybe I don't want to use this lightly, okay? But it reminds me of Judgment Day during the championship season when Chaz Woodson, Marcus Ray, and the Michigan Wolverines went down to Penn State on Statement Saturday. Do you remember that? Do you remember that during the championship season? People were like, "Oh, is Michigan really that good?" And they put it on Penn State. Okay, that day they made the statement, and that was the first Saturday where they jumped to #1 in the nation. So I think that will happen again this year. With this team.
Preach it.
Statement Saturday.
You can't
Michigan
even
Wolverines versus the Penn State Nittany Lions.
Come on.
you can't even imagine how this team is like just amped to like deliver destruction. And it's not going into Penn State being like, oh, maybe we can win something. They're literally having the world against them, and then it's just making them stronger, more united, and more pissed off that they freaking think that stealing science is contributing to their win. So they're gonna make a statement. They're gonna come out. I mean, I would say one thing, but like this defensive line, the fact that they can rotate that many guys in and still get to the quarterback and be able to do that. I mean, Josiah Stewart's like itching to get like multiple sacks, and he was like barely milliseconds away before getting any of these different things. And then you have all the other guys that are in there willing and ready to go. I am pumped to see this defense freaking destroy Penn State and make them the sham that they are.
Predictions. Come on.
Oh, I know what my prediction is. I already know. You want me to go first? I'll go first.
Right.
Michigan, 45. Penn State, 10.
I'm going to go 35-14 Michigan. 35-14 Michigan.
Wow.
Look at him. He's like
27-16.
27-16.
Go blue.
What is going
Interesting score line. Okay.
All right. I'm going with 6-11. The
Wait, what?
defensive touchdown, baby.
Wait,
You're
what?
cutting out. Say it again.
Say it again.
6-11.
6-11.
26-11.
Oh, 26.
Defensive touchdown
Only?
in the books.
Okay,
No,
wait.
just there's a defensive touchdown in there.
Oh, with the defensive touchdown in there.
Yeah.
We could have used that defensive touchdown last game.
I know. Oh, smoke. So wait, are you going to put that in the parlay for this week? Defensive touchdown? All right, there you go. There you go. So despite all the doom and gloom of some of the panel members, I think we are all in agreement that Michigan Wolverines are going to come out of this game versus the Penn State Nittany Lions and continue to be undefeated on the way to another Big Ten championship, the third in a row. Wow, look at that. Squarehead. He was so shocked with his prediction.
Battery.
He had to hang up.
I think his battery died. What happened?
Could have been. I don't know. Holy smokes. Anyway.
Let's give it up to
he's
Ason
back.
last week who commented on the YouTube channel. Please tell me producer JB's new hairdo will be featured on next week's episode. You said here. That's all the YouTube comments that we got. Guys, make some comments. Give us your predictions on what the score is going to be for this game and what are the keys to success. We want to hear from you. Write it down in the comments. Put your predictions down for the score. This is going to be the statement game of the year.
Man, oh man, I'm itching. I can't wait for this Saturday to come. I'm excited. I'm pumped up, and thank goodness this game is not another night game. Can you imagine waiting until 7:30 for this?
Amen.
Game? Oh,
God.
that'd be
Torture.
torture. Thank goodness it's at 12 o'clock kickoff.
Dude,
Oh,
JJ
yeah.
needs his morning meditations and then to get right into the game. He can't wait
No,
to like.
no. I think he's got to cut down on the meditation and get more on the well, anyway. Anyway. Gents, Statement Saturday is coming upon us quicker than we can imagine. And man, oh man, I am excited. I am pumped up, and I am ready to see the Michigan Wolverines go into Happy Valley and make it their own. Make it their own. Gentlemen, any
Please
final
be
thoughts?
so.
Any final thoughts before we close it up?
I just say, please be so. Let's do it.
Oh, nameless guest, for your sake, holy smokes. Yeah. Saturday cannot come fast enough. You're going
I'll
to be
be
a nervous wreck
devastated.
the rest of the week. Oh,
If
yeah.
the dream comes crashing down here this Saturday, I will be devastated.
Why would you
Devastated.
even talk like that? Don't say that. Goodness gracious. Anywho's, we raise our glass to Coach Harbaugh, the rest of the staff, and the fine young men that make up Team 144, the Michigan Wolverines football program. And we say, go blue.
Go blue.
Go blue.